We remodeled 2 bathrooms in 2 weeks, despite breaking a countertop in half. Here's how we did it. Hi there, my name is Zane Warren, and my good buddy Brendan and I decided to see if we could tackle 2 bathroom remodels in 2 weeks. And let me tell you, this was no walk in the park. To prevent confusion, I'm going to be going back and forth between each bathroom, and I'll label them in big, bold letters so you don't get them mixed up. I know this might sound crazy, but to make sure we get these bathrooms done in a week apiece, I like to have demo, the new shower pan, and the backer board up in the first day. If all things go well. Well, they didn't. Plumbing behind the wall takes the most time on this first day, so we prepare in advance a plumber to come out and do the work on the first day we're there. We get the wall opened up and the existing shower system removed, so the plumber can just quickly go in and make things happen. On this particular day, the plumber we called arrived on time, ready to get to work, but when he looked at the brand of the product the customer had purchased, which was a fairly nice product, he said, "I'm sorry, I don't work on this brand." I said, "What do you mean you don't work on this brand?" He said, "We've had faulty systems with this brand, and I'm held liable if something goes wrong. So we don't work on them anymore." I understood that and respected it. Unfortunately, that's going to set me back a day. But then he had the audacity to charge me $80 for a call-out fee. I was under the assumption that if we ended up not liking his price, then we get the $80 charge. But he simply came out, said he doesn't work on this brand, and proceeded to charge me $80. That is whack. I should have become a plumber. So we did it ourselves on day 2 after a late night sweating tutorial by Dad. We took about 30 minutes or 6 full buckets of water testing to make sure we had 0 leaks. There was also an access panel behind each shower, so throughout the project we kept checking for leaks as well. Here's a pro strat, which means professional strategy for installing steel or acrylic tubs. The hardest thing for these is installing the drain and getting it to fit perfectly. So if you can install the drain onto the back of the tub before you put it in, then all you have to do is connect the bottom of the tub to the subfloor. Unfortunately for us, we could not do this because our tub drain was also connected to the water softener for the entire house. So it took quite a bit of time to finesse to get this drain at the right height. And I'm pretty sure this would have been impossible if we did not have the access panel behind the shower wall. But once we got it all connected, we tested the tub drain and our shower system at the same time. You're not really going to find a leak in the tub itself unless there's a massive crack, but we're testing for any drain leaks, especially at the overflow plate. We are using 24 by 48 large format tiles for the second bathroom. So that means the walls need to be flush, square, and plumb, which they were not. So we had to fur out the walls in a few places to make sure our walls were completely flat for these large tiles. If you don't do this and you're using large format tiles, your bathroom will explode. I appreciate the sheets of floor tiles as an installer because I can cut the mesh that holds the tiles together and easily install around the toilet flange and the walls. But as a homeowner, I'd be a little bit worried about the grout. But some people don't mind it, so to each their own. You'll see shortly that we install a tile plank in the second bathroom, and that I much prefer aesthetic-wise. Plank tiles require a level floor, and we had a large divot in the middle of our subfloor, so we had to fill it before laying down our tiles. I used a 1/2-inch square notch trowel for these tiles with a 1/16 inch spacer. I generally always use 1/16 inch spacers to minimize the amount of grout and get a better finished look, but it does make your tile placement a lot more precise. I started out with a full piece on the right and worked towards my left, because on the left there's going to be a toilet, a vanity, and a future trash can to mask any cut I have on that left side. Before I start tiling the shower, I get the bottom row perfectly level because I am a master tile setter and I don't need a laser level. I wish that were true, but in fact, I definitely should be using a laser level here. The only problem is, I don't have one. But honestly, that should be my next tool purchase because it is so critical to get that first row of tiles completely level. It's possible to do it without a laser level as I have done here, but it honestly took me about an hour and a half to do one row. It is very meticulous and I would not wish it even on my worst enemies. With a laser level, you guarantee that the rest of the shower walls all line up with each other, and you don't have to fight each tile as you build upward. Another thing I learned on this project that you might find helpful is that if you're using glazed ceramic tile, you must put them into a bucket of water before installing. You may ask why. Let me tell you. These ceramic tiles absorb water and will absorb all the moisture in your thin set, and your bond to the wall will not be as strong. But if you put them in a bucket of water before, they will all soak up the water like a sponge and not absorb the moisture from the thin set. If you didn't know this, you're welcome. And I know this project looks like it's going perfectly, but remember, we still have to address this cracked countertop. To finish each bathroom in 1 week, I shoot to install our wall tile on day 4. Usually you can get the floor done in about a day and the wall done in about a day, especially if you're using large format tile. So we laid them out on the grass to make sure all the veins were facing the same direction. That is a pro strat right there. Because the tiles were so ridiculously large, my score and snap was too small, and even the tile saw was too small, so we had to use the trusty old grinder with the diamond blade. Did it make the process a lot more difficult and take a lot longer? Yes. Yes, it did. Especially with porcelain being so large. This was not a fun day. I almost moved this to day 5 and thought to myself, no, we have to get this done and maintain our schedule. So you might be thinking, do we rush our projects and not do them to the best of our ability just to say we did them in 1 week? That is absolutely correct. Just kidding, of course we do not forsake quality for the sake of getting it done in a week. We know what we're doing, and if it needs to take additional days, we accept that and keep on working. In this case, it did work out for us to finish both bathrooms in 2 weeks, but that is not always the case. Things come up, you find things that were hidden, decisions are changed, it's all part of the work. I have to admit, honestly, it's frustrating, but those challenges are sometimes when you come up with the best creative decisions. Anyways, my favorite part of all these projects is when I finally get to put the hardware in the showers, on top of the beautiful tile we just installed. If you're an electrician or have done any electrical work, you probably will agree with me when I say wiring lights, switches, and outlets can actually be relaxing. The worst thing on the job site is doing wall repair or finish texturing. That is the pits, the armpits. This might be about the time when you're asking, what happened to the cracked countertop? So let me tell that story. I measured our rough opening for the new vanity and countertop, and we had 54.5 inches to work with, and the vanity we ordered was 54 inches, which I knew was going to be tight. Little did anyone know that the marble countertop it came with was 55 inches. Would that fit in a 54.5 inch rough opening? The answer is no. No, it will not. Why did we try to fit it? The answer is, I have no clue. We knew it wasn't going to fit, but we tried anyways. It was a mixture of miscommunication and gobbledygook, which means silliness. Luckily, the company free of charge gave us a completely new countertop, and this time we cut out the drywall on the left side, which I had thought of before, but for some reason didn't do it, and it slid in perfectly. Moral of the story is, number 1, don't order a countertop that is too big for your space. And number 2, if you know it's not going to fit, that means it's not going to fit. So of course, I did not charge the customer for the install of the vanity and the countertop because it was our mistake. And with the install of these vanities, that completed our job. completed 2 bathroom remodels in 2 weeks, despite the handful of complications and even a broken countertop. If you're interested in the total cost of these projects, please comment down below if that's something you're interested in, and I'll be sure to add it to future videos. We love filming and building, so if you enjoyed this video, if you would just click the like button, that would be so cool and it would let us know we did a good job. And if you're in the San Luis Obispo area of California and are looking for a bathroom remodel, please do not hesitate to reach out to my email below for any bathroom remodels of your own. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, I want to sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to see you in another video. Ciao.